What's up, everybody? So here I am with another Mannun's Minute, and this one's aimed at the people who tend to hate on Wicca, for instance, because of an "it harm none, do as you will" guideline that is out there. You know, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Wiccans get a lot of criticism for our Rede, and "it harm none, do as you will," as I said. It's one of those phrases that people outside the craft love to twist, mock, or misunderstand. They'll say things like, "that's unrealistic," or "that's too soft," or even, "that's why Wicca isn't a real belief system," and, "oh, everything has to have balance. You preach that yourself." But when you stop and really think about it, isn't it odd that those same critics would never question a doctor for taking an oath built on the exact same moral foundation, do no harm? The Hippocratic oath, one of the oldest ethical pledges in human history, is what every doctor takes before stepping into their profession. Its entire purpose is to remind them that their knowledge and power should never be used to injure or destroy, but to heal and help. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? At its core, it shares the same heartbeat as the Wiccan Rede. Both ideas say, be mindful of your actions. Your choices ripple outward. Use your will wisely. So why is it that when a doctor swears to harm none, it's called noble, but when a witch says it, it's suddenly naive or laughable? That's where the real hypocrisy shows up. It's like people can accept compassion and restraint when it wears a white coat, but not when it wears a pentacle. The truth is, the Rede isn't about being perfect or living in some bubble where you never accidentally hurt a fly. It's about intent and awareness. It asks us to think before we act, to weigh the energy of our choices. Every spell, every word, every decision carries weight, just like every doctor's diagnosis or prescription does. And "it harm none" doesn't mean never take a stand or never defend yourself. It means understand what your will creates and move through life with care. Doctors do the same thing every single day. They weigh harm and healing. A surgeon might cut someone open, literally cause pain, but the purpose is for healing. A Wiccan might cast a spell that creates change, which could unsettle someone's comfort zone, but if the intent is to bring balance, protection, or justice, that's not the same as harm. The nuance is everything. What makes it kind of ironic is that the very people who accuse Wiccans of being too moral or too idealistic for following the Rede are often the same ones who admire medical professionals for holding themselves to a higher ethical standard. They'd trust their lives to a doctor who swore to do no harm, but roll their eyes at a witch who tries to live the same way spiritually. That's not logic. That's bias dressed up as opinion. What's even more interesting is that both ideas, the Hippocratic oath and the Wiccan Rede, come from ancient roots. The oath goes back to Greece in the time of Hippocrates, and the Rede draws inspiration from even older pagan principles about balance, consequence, and the natural law. Both exist because human beings have always known that power. Whether it's the power to heal or to shape reality, needs ethics. Without that moral compass, knowledge can easily become dangerous. When you look at it from that angle, and "it harm none" isn't a weakness, it's a form of strength. It takes a lot more control and integrity to act with compassion than it does to lash out or act carelessly. Wiccans don't follow the Rede because we're afraid of punishment. We follow it because we understand cause and effect. Every thought and action we put into the world has energy attached to it. The Rede reminds us to keep that energy clean. Maybe that's what makes some people uncomfortable. The idea that personal responsibility can't be dodged with excuses or doctrine. In Wicca, you own your choices. Plain and simple. There's no scapegoat, no "the devil made me do it," no forgiveness from on high. There's just you, your will, and the consequences that follow. So yeah, if someone wants to laugh at "and it harm none," let them. But maybe next time they thank their doctor for taking the Hippocratic oath, they'll realize that it's not so different from what Wiccans have been saying all along. Both paths are built on respect for life, mindfulness, and compassion, just expressed in different ways. Whether you're holding a stethoscope or an athame, the message is the same. Use your power with care. And if that's something to criticize, maybe it says more about them than it does about us.